Now take us back. I know that you have more videos.
Maybe I should introduce you to the trains in India, because sometimes I have to go by train from one place to another. So take a look at this train journey.
Okay.
I was on the train on my way back to Ambassa, the capital city of Tripura, northeast India. Fare, 25 rupees. That's about 30 cents. Two enterprising young passengers were earning their fares. A song, a few acrobats, and some hard-pressure persuasion. Well, it was working. Thanks for the show. Next day, we were off to Kungaranpara for a baptism. This is where Gospel Outreach volunteer Bijoy has been working, and they have a program prepared for us. I was prepared for some cultural dancing, but I was surprised by what I saw. I suddenly realized that this was not just a dance. This was telling a story, a Bible story. This was the story of David and Goliath and the 5 little stones. Not just stories. The children were also teaching about the evils of alcohol and drugs and gambling. What a witness! I was really impressed. I shared a message and the choir performed. This was a temporary shelter erected today for our big baptism. Kungaranpara has built a small church for daily worship, but today it was not big enough. Saminga, our new church district president for Tripura, examined the candidates, and we were off to the local pool. Our baptismal pools in Tripura are often quite picturesque. Only 4 candidates were baptized today because this was a follow-up from the main baptism, and there we have our story. But before we tell it, we need to eat. I checked in the kitchen and found preparations almost complete. This was to be a real treat. What was under those banana leaves? Well, the dog was sampling it out. Banana leaf plates were set out and the ladies started to serve. No knives and forks were needed here. There was plenty of good food, and I was ready for lunch. After lunch, I was told the story. Bijoy, our gospel outreach worker, had come to Kungaranpara and had started to make friends. He visited the homes, he had Bible studies, and then a series of meetings, followed by a baptism. 2 of the young men being baptized had a problem. Their wives didn't want to take that step. It seemed that they had both taken a Hindu vow to the god Soni. Hindu vows are taken very seriously, and they are very afraid that something would happen to their family. So now both husbands took their baptismal vows very seriously, and they made big changes in their lives. In fact, they became model husbands. Both wives decided that the Christian way of living was much better. They had studies with Bijoy, listened to their husbands, and finally made a decision to follow their good example. I was so happy to share their baptismal day and see 2 happy couples unite together with Jesus Christ. Let's pray for Bijoy as he continues to visit and share in Kungaranpara. And let's pray for the young people in the village as they witness to others.
So John, it's always a pleasure to have you here and to see those videos and the kids dancing.
Yes, you see, it's not just the gospel outreach workers who are witnessing, it's all of those children who have learnt those dances.
Yes. And they're holding up their 5, so that for the 5 stones and all of that.
Yeah, they have the Bible stories, but not only Bible stories, but also moral lessons as well. about drinking and smoking
Yeah.
and drugs and
Yeah.
things like this. Very good evangelism.
So talk a little bit about the effects of alcohol in India. You referenced that in your first video.
Oh, well, I did. They say that more than 50% of all the accidents in India are from alcohol. And yet alcohol is not it's not readily available like it is in the States. It's not something that you can buy at every street corner, but people get it.
Yeah.
And people use it, and they make their own as well.
They have access to it.
They make their own.
So very moving to see the women who joined their husbands as followers of Jesus.
Yes, what kind of witness is that?
Yeah.
Because the husband's become a model husband. The wife says, I want to be a Christian as well.
But comment, if you would, about them making a decision from their Hindu beliefs. That's a big choice for them, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. Because, you know, with the Hindu society around, the pull is so strong. Every month there's a different god, a different kind of a festival, every month of the year. So there are so many things that seem to be attractive as far as the Hindu religion is concerned. And sometimes being a Christian, becoming a Christian, seems maybe a little dull sometimes because they have to forego all of those festivals.
The festivals and all of that.
Yes.
So I did have to smile when the plates came out of the banana leaf, because I have eaten Indian food on a banana leaf, and you kind of take the rice and the curry,
Yes.
and then you use your thumb and you just flick it in your mouth, and
Yes.
so that looked really good.
When I lived in Singapore, there was a restaurant downtown
Yes,
called the Banana
I
Leaf.
have been there, my friend. I have been there, my friend. It was a good place to go, and
Yes.
they always had a sink there so you can wash your hands. And
Yes,
yep,
yes,
that brings back very fond memories for me.